I've loved my time here. I've loved giving back. I know Stanford it has changed my life's trajectory for the better. There's many great individuals here. There are many amazing resources. And if you can find your communities, you can have a great time here. But the issue is some communities, the doors are more shut than others.
I think that the product design major is my kind of favorite place to be, but it's also a place that sometimes can be difficult to be, especially as a person of color.
When Black students run into issues in the department that really negatively impact us and make it harder for us to succeed, it's not really clear how we can get the assistance we need to sort of like overcome the obstacles.
This is a heavy topic, and I think the leadership of the department very much cares about this.
We need to dig deeper into what's going on here, talk with these students, talk with the larger community, and figure out how we can begin to address these concerns that are being voiced. How can we actually help students of every background, right, have the best academic experience as possible?
In the spring, there's a lot happening. COVID has hit, right? The pandemic has spread, everyone's quarantined. You're away from your friends, your peers.
We had gone online quite suddenly in March to a full quarter of students being dispersed all across the globe, to be honest with you, and faculty scrambling to create Zoom courses. And amid that, the nation experienced a number of brutal deaths, for instance, George Floyd, and students were really stressed.
The outrage that sparked from George Floyd's murder, the ensuing focus on Black Lives Matter, the protests, the activism, causing people to pause, reflect, and say, wait, we need to really address this.
I remember I had a Peter who had said, I hear gunshots outside my window because I'm in Minneapolis. There's so much going on. Can I get an extension on this assignment? I literally cannot focus on what's going on right now. And some professors responded positively, and some, I can give you an incomplete. I don't want an incomplete. I want sympathy. I want kindness, compassion.
Mechanical engineering department, we're like, we have curriculum to get through, we got to get through it, and that's the end of it. To feel like you have a home in this department, but they really aren't trying to accommodate you, was really hard.
Students came to me, they came to Ellen Kuhl, our chair, and so we partnered along with a few other faculty members to design a town hall for the month of June. A number of students, 9 of them, took turns speaking to a Zoom room with 200 participants.
And myself and a few others, we spoke out just about our own experiences as, particularly as Black students within this department. And I don't think anyone expected just the outpouring of information and of vulnerability in that town hall.
It took a lot of courage for some of our students to speak out about the experiences they have had on Stanford campus.
So the messages ranged from it being challenging to find a faculty advisor. Some of it was around actually not feeling safe on campus and walking even during the daylight, or feeling like people would go to the other side of the street.
I've heard from many Black students that they only feel safe on certain sides of campus. Ujima is a majority Black dorm, and there were many complaints that it was over-policed.
One of the students decided to consult a lawyer before coming to the meeting and talking about some of the experience that he had in our department to make sure that there wouldn't be legal repercussions to that. That was staggering to me because it sort of suggested a sense of fear amongst our students, Black students.
In the town hall, we all were just grappling with the larger societal issues that we were dealing with, and taking those issues and looking introspectively at what was happening in our department. Particular groups, particularly Black students, did not feel valued in the community, and that was very striking.
And what had been designed initially as an hour gathering or town hall ended up being 3 hours. And I was crying, just the impact of what these students that I knew and had talked with and didn't know this other part of what they were experiencing was sobering and sad and shocking.
I felt heartbroken that there were people in our community who felt so marginalized.
Many of us felt that this is unacceptable and we've got to do something. We cannot let this moment slip. Things may happen in Minnesota and other places, but this is us.
And so out of that town hall was birthed this committee for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
On the committee itself, we've had half students and half faculty.
We decided to create a sounding board, which would be both an advisory role to the DEI committee as well as accountability role.
Some of the key findings in the report relate to particular actions that the department can take. We participated in the faculty search in the department. An explicit theme of diversity, equity, and inclusion has not been part of past searches. And so this year we had a team from our DEI committee that interviewed all of the 11 candidates for the faculty position.
We were actually able to interview the candidates with regards to DEI aspects and give a report to the actual search committee and have that be part of the actual evaluation criteria. So I'd say that's the largest impact we had this school year.
We are experimenting with a new way of selecting course assistants to hopefully increase diversity.
The diversity in our department definitely needs to improve. There are not enough women, there are not enough people of color.
The idea of support and safe reporting has its roots from the town hall and harms.
If there are students who've had any incident of harm, whether it's talking to a professor, even just feeling like isolated or alienated from the department, you don't really know who to talk to. So having someone who's dedicated to this reporting process, allowing students to report things safely and anonymously was a big goal for us.
The fact that we have a committee in place and that we have an annual report, that creates an infrastructure that can be built upon year after year, and so the efforts of previous generations won't be forgotten.
I think it's going to be very important to have continuity and overlap of students like year to year, so that the urgency that students bring to the table doesn't get lost.
Up top, we have our gumball machine, which is a little bit of a delay. Being at Stanford has been such a gift, and the fact that the Stanford faculty, that the students, that the professors are all willing to engage with these issues shows that there's room to grow and room to change. Et voila.
The success of the DEI committee and all the initiatives that we've outlined are conditioned on the wider adoption of our goals, of these goals within the department. And if it's recognized as important and who we want to be, then I'm very optimistic that we'll have success and see the changes that we want to see moving forward.
If you're number one in engineering, why can't we be number one in diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I would like there never to be another June town hall again.
Without any hesitation, coming to Stanford was the best decision I could have made at the time, and if I had another chance, I'd do it again. It's not perfect, but at least we're having conversations about how we aren't perfect and trying to look for the future.